Scorpios, you guys have the North Node moving into Pisces in your fifth house. This governs creativity, children. It's the outpouring of the fourth house of foundations where you have extra energy. So these are your hobbies, speculative adventures, and stocks and things you want to bet on as well. So the North Node here in Pisces can lead to investments in creative real estate projects, such as properties for artistic communities, film projects, projects involving children like schools or playground developments, family properties can be reinvested into, or creative ventures rather than more of the straightforward types of reinvestment. So selling family property or selling something to finance a creative project or investment that aligns with your personal values, such as innovative housing or something that's eco-friendly or environmentally friendly or compassionate or caring for people, can be really, really beneficial, but it's going to require thorough research, especially because Neptune's going to join the North Node here, and that influence can create illusions. So you want to thoroughly investigate any investments to avoid any deceptive schemes here. But Neptune here in the fifth can inspire investments in any projects tied to creativity, art, education, compassion, taking care of the environment. So this can look like, solar powered educational centers or creative spaces that have a sustainability element to them. You can invest in those or take part in such projects as well. Now, Mars is in Cancer in your ninth house. When the ninth, this talks about, meaning of life, it gets philosophical. It's about soul searching and journeys and God and, what is meaning for me? Academic settings, publications, podcasting. These are things that we're either severing or cutting or moving forward from here. And so Mars includes foreign investments in which we're ending or beginning new things related to higher education and long distance travel. So refinancing loans can be connected to funding overseas real estate or higher education for children, or refinancing loans for your own education in general, where you're like, I don't like that rate anymore. I want to be done with that. I'm gonna Mars cut that off and pursue this rate that's better. Legal matters surrounding debts can become significant, especially if they're related to any international ventures as well. So refinancing looks good here. It can be a really optimal period to really consolidate debts as well. The full moon in Virgo on the 11th talks about long-term goals, networks, and technology. The full moon in Virgo can bring promotions or new opportunities with health-related technology fields or companies involved in really large-scale humanitarian projects. So this can enhance financial stability through your networking, your groups, people who are like a big brother or big sister to you, or getting involved in any networking or involving yourself in any medical or tech startups, or getting involved in any social media or writing or speaking projects as well. So seek opportunities in larger organizations or technology-driven health industries. Those will do very well under this energy. Venus is going to retrograde in Aries in your sixth, and so that also talks about reevaluating your work routines and your health or any service-oriented jobs. So we want to avoid risky investments or just kind of rethink them during this time until Venus moves forward. Launching a new business after the new moon solar eclipse might be something that some of you guys are doing, in the sense that this eclipse can highlight new beginnings in your work or health sector for some of you. So launching a new business related to wellness, medical service, or a new career, or even fitness can be lucrative if you plan it properly. Some of you might be like physical trainers or something like that, or just doing some research into these fields. It's a good time to be bold, but just be well prepared. It's really ideal for innovative approaches to well-being or daily routines for people or for yourself as well. Neptune entering Aries in your sixth talks about community health projects or fitness ventures as well. Neptune in Aries can really inspire action towards health and wellness initiatives. We just want to be careful of any unrealistic goals. These can even be health projects that you even find crowdfunding for. Just set clear, tangible goals for these health projects to avoid Neptune's potential for confusion. And you might really be able to generate the interest in what you need from people, seeing that you're really compassionate and caring about what you're trying to shift here as it relates to health for others. Saturn in Aries talks about emphasizing discipline in health as well, daily routines and work habits. So long-term investments in health, education, or wellness can really bring some slow and steady financial growth with Saturn here. So thinking about health and daily routines and work habits for The long term with Saturn's influence, doing daily efforts every day, preventative health measures too, this can be really positive. Jupiter in Cancer in the night talks about inheritance or shared resources coming through like a foreign relative or foreign investment, especially if it's connected to your higher education, spiritual practices, university, or something you want to study. So you can use money for those things. And estate planning involving any foreign assets if that's your situation, or educational trust can be useful if that's your situation as well. Uranus and Gemini in the eighth talks about shared finances and transformation, undergoing some unexpected changes for several years, and maybe even shaking up this area of your life with tech related investments or joint ventures can be quite lucrative as it relates to markets. And so being open to cutting edge technologies here, particularly with fintech and crypto, green energy projects or real estate projects tied to creativity or education can come up. You just really want to be cautious with these, Scorpios. So this can really expand the wellness sector for you guys through innovative health ventures. This can bring long-term stability for you as it relates to your income, especially if you avoid any risky moves while Venus is retrograde or just with Neptune's influence, making sure that you're not partnering with people or getting into any ventures that are going to mislead you or have any bad actors or just not have the clarity that's needed for success. Okay. And then you guys have had Pluto moving through Capricorn since 2008. It's brought a lot of transformation and change in neighborhood and siblings with neighbors and stuff like that. So now it's in Aquarius in the fourth. And so this talks about bringing power and death and transformation and changes that go deep as it relates to origin and family. So in some ways, there could be some deep hidden wealth as it relates to understanding family dynamics. There could be some inheritance there. There could be something related to property or precious metals, things deep underground. So gold, silver, oil, things that are dug up under the ground, gas. That can be a Neptune story as well. Precious metals can be very good wealth, or being someone who amasses big amounts of land can be, or buying and selling of land or legacy wealth, legacy land, investing in mines, investing in real estate for some of you guys can be very lucrative. And even foreign shores, international companies or businesses that work into all those sectors I mentioned as well can really increase success for a lot of Scorpios from an investment perspective as well. Again, this is more of the long term stuff. From the Pluto and Aquarius perspective, this is a 20-year transit. And combined with what we talked about here with Neptune's movement and Saturn's movement, these are a lot of slow moving planets talking about big wealth. So if we can be patient and not be deluded, some of you Scorpios can come into some very lucrative opportunities that benefit you for the decades to come. So with that, if you are curious about what assets or stocks or companies look well for 2025, my 2025 yearly report dives into ETFs, stocks, and sectors that are likely to do well and when they're likely to do well. And so you can check that out. And if you want to know more about how these generalized transits are in fact impacting you personally, you can reach out to me and book a session. And with that, be well, one love to you, Scorpios, and peace.
And whenever I do the research, for Sama, and when we do it together, I go back and do the research 10 years back, so it is a lot of work behind the way I wrote. And actually I'm not going to talk about each individual sign. Sama, you're going to actually summarize that for them right now in this video, but I wrote about 45 pages for each individual sign. The best is to purchase that for your rising sign, but actually you can purchase it all and give it to your friends as well if you would like to. But the other thing is, I would recommend that to purchase it for your rising, after your sun sign, and after your moon sign. So on the other hand, what I really wanted to say over here. You already talked about the career and but this is really finance based. It is, guys, I went really deep into to giving you opportunity to watch out for market and which companies to watch for, which companies to invest in, and I checked it each of them individually. So a lot of sweat and blood went into this.